Still on the subject of the shuttle, ABC News has learned that more than 3 years ago, the solid rocket booster contractor, Morton Thiokol, warned NASA of a dangerous and deadly problem with the O-ring seals. As ABC's Al Dale reports, despite that warning, the shuttle continued to fly and no corrective actions were taken.
ABC News has learned that following structural analysis experiments on the O-rings in 1982, the manufacturer Morton Thiokol told NASA of their safety concerns. "We warned them," a company official told ABC News, "because we thought we had a potential catastrophe on our hands." The contractor warned that a primary O-ring seal was so likely to fail, leaving only the secondary rings, that it violated NASA's own redundancy or backup safety standards. NASA officials reportedly argued with Morton Thiokol, then reluctantly agreed that there was a problem. But top NASA officials who don't want to be identified told us that instead of moving to correct the O-ring problem, middle management resorted to a paperwork solution, a waiver exempting the O-rings from the backup requirement. If they had stopped to solve the O-ring situation, the shuttle program could have been set back more than a year at a cost of millions of dollars. Those senior NASA officials who spoke with ABC News said they never knew about the waiver or the O-ring problem. One said, "That was the thing I fault the system on. When they realized it wasn't redundant, they should have been working on it to make it redundant." In one instance cited by the NASA sources, however, the agency did move to fix a problem with the solid rocket boosters. A NASA team at Morton Thiokol looked into erosion and pitting in the critical solid rocket booster nozzle. Finding the fault was poor carbon cloth insulation, they fired the subcontractor. But nearly 3 years passed and 12 missions before NASA fully addressed the O-ring problem last August, resulting in these 43 alternate O-ring designs and this recommendation by Thiokol. Changes must be incorporated as soon as possible to reduce criticality, a term used to mean possible loss of mission and loss of life. Still, a top NASA official said the problem was not corrected, and as recently as February 26th, 1 month after the Challenger explosion, Lawrence Malloy, a NASA middle management official responsible for the solid rocket boosters, insisted that the seals had redundancy, or 1R in NASA jargon.
Mr. Malloy, in the interest of clarity, could you just simply state, was it 1 or 1R?
It was 1R, sir.
Presidential Commission members had their doubts that Malloy was correct, and sources close to the investigation say Malloy was wrong and that the deficiency was never corrected. A top Morton Thiokol official charged that NASA still is not listening to the rocket builders on the O-ring problem. The official said Thiokol's full-scale tests of the seals won't be finished for at least 2 more weeks. And NASA's claim that its own tests show the seals should have been good to a temperature of -10 degrees is baloney. Al Dale, ABC News at the Johnson Space Center, Houston.